My name's Daniel. I don't live in the country, but the nights here pretend I do. Quiet, stubborn, full of patient dark. Duplex, copy of a copy street, porch light on a timer, blinds half closed. I keep a doorbell camera because I like proof. Packages, faces. Whether I imagined what I thought I saw. Last month, the proof turned on me. I woke to a notification. Motion detected, 3:11 a.m. Half asleep, I opened the clip. My porch. The light bloomed. And there I was, hood up, hands in pockets, staring straight into the lens. Then I reached up, pressed the bell, and waited. Inside that exact minute, my phone lay face down on the nightstand at 35%. I'd been asleep since midnight. The clip blinked to black as the figure on the porch, me, tilted his head a little too far and smiled like a bad photocopy folding at the edges. Bug, I told myself. Old clip. App. Hiccup. Over breakfast, I checked device info. The clip was captured live. Audio tracked a breath, a sleeve rustle, one distorted syllable. I muted my phone and drank cold coffee. That night, I enabled notifications for every motion. Midnight. 1, 2. At 3:11, the alert stung my palm. Live view showed an empty porch, the way a stage looks empty right before someone coughs. A shape rose from the bottom edge, like a person stepping up from a place the lens doesn't cover. The mic picked up a tiny sound I knew too well. My knuckles settling when I curl my fist. I stepped forward on screen. My own face, flat and honest in a way cameras don't forgive. I rang. I leaned close until my breath fogged the lens. The fog didn't melt right. Inside the house, the doorbell never chimed. The clip ended on my eye filling the frame. Pupil wide, no porch light reflection where there should have been. I didn't sleep. I told myself stories about compression artifacts while the fridge clicked into a different mood. At 6, the world turned on anyway. Day 3, I got serious. I mounted a second camera inside, pointed at the door. Set the porch cam to continuous from 2:45 to 3:30. Approved the app update. Coffee that tasted like wet cardboard. Called it dinner. 2:57. Laptop open to both feeds. 3:04. Nothing. 3:09. A car somewhere. The porch cam didn't care. 3:11. The outside feed brightened like a TV catching signal. The inside cam showed the door as polite wood. On the porch I appeared. No sound at first. Then a soft double tap. Knuckles to frame, not bell. I stood closer than the night before. The left side of my mouth pulled like I was considering a secret. Inside, no knock, no shadow. It was as if the wood on that side had a different job. I raised a finger toward the lens. 2-frame glitch, the feeling of someone blinking for me. Clip ended. Both feeds had clean timestamps. Outside held me. Inside held air. Next morning, the events list had something new. Test, 3:11. I tapped. Still porch image. Half second of hiss. Then system text over black. Good. You're watching. I powered down long enough to feel brave, then turned it back on because that's what bravery becomes. I told one friend. She said 2 things. Change your password and don't go out there at 3:11. I changed it. New account. Factory reset the doorbell. Reinstalled. Scanned the QR like it might bite. That night I set do not disturb and pretended the problem was me letting it in. At 3:11 the house woke me anyway. Not a chime, just air heavier around my lungs. I stayed in bed and counted to 100. Morning showed 2 clips, 3:11 and 3:12, both gray thumbnails. Unavailable. I tapped until my thumb hurt. The app apologized. Then one thumbnail brightened and played half a second. Empty porch, then my face too close, then black. The doorbell button had a new smudge. 4 faint arcs like oil dragged in tiny crescents. I pressed my thumb there. It fit. I stopped pretending it was a bug. I moved the inside camera to the living room, aimed at the couch where I'd be pretending not to wait. New rule. No opening the door at night, for any reason. Chain on. Deadbolt vertical. Chair in front of the knob because my body believed what my head refused. 3 more wait. Mute. 3:10. Unmute, because I didn't want surprises. 3:11. The porch cam woke like a shoulder tap. The live view caught me stepping in at the edge of the frame. I looked tired and decided. Inside, the doorknob didn't move. Outside, I pressed the bell. My face didn't do any of the things faces do when they're about to make a joke. Inside, the silence swelled like a pause before a punchline. My phone, not the app, vibrated with a new voice memo. 311, listen, sender, me, hiss, porch night, wind in the little mic hole. Then my voice, 6 inches from it. If you're listening, don't answer. The file ran 38 seconds. At the end, the start of a word, D, and then nothing, like someone decided it should end there. I texted my friend and regretted it. She sent a paragraph about compromised accounts and device spoofing and a guy who hacked his thermostat by accident. She's right. But the fog on the lens had taken 2 beats too long to bleed away. I called my landlord and told him a version of the truth that didn't attach itself to my name like a twin. He said he'd stop by. He didn't. He texted later. Cam looks fine from my end. There is no my end. He isn't on my account. He has never been on my porch at 311. A week in, I did the thing every idiot does and called it collecting evidence. I went out at 3:09, door unlocked, chain set, phone in pocket, outside cam live, inside aimed. I thought I'd catch whoever wore my face. The porch light hummed. The street was a blur where it should have been a line. I hid to the side so the camera wouldn't catch me first. I breathed like a sniper didn't exist, but I acted like one did. 311 clicked on a clock I couldn't hear. The steps didn't creak. The sidewalk didn't whisper. But the camera decided there was motion. On live view, me stepping into center, hood up, hands in pockets. I watched my own live view from 5 feet away. My legs went electric and wrong. The figure, I, faced the lens. Then took 1 step into the exact spot where I was hiding. Nothing bumped me. It felt like only one of us got to be in that lane, and I'd chosen the wrong version. "Who are you?" I whispered. The mic caught breath, not words. The figure raised a hand. Whirls of my fingerprint in the screen glow, no bell press, palm flat on the lens. The image turned into skin. Inside, the inner camera finally reacted. The doorknob turned half an inch against the chain and stopped like a dog testing a leash. I bolted, not brave, afraid of being the last thing too near the first thing. Stairs bent under me, not with weight but with a creak like a throat considering a name. I slammed the door, set the chain, pressed my back to the wood and counted to 10 because someone taught me that when the dark asked different questions. The bell never rang. The porch stayed alive on the screen 3 seconds after I closed the app. The inside camera recorded my silhouette like a myth. The voice memo app added a file I ignored for an hour. When I finally listened, it was 11 seconds. Wind hiss, sleeve shuff. My voice, tired and too close. It doesn't need the bell. I became the most boring version of myself. No answering, no stepping outside, no live feeds after midnight. One rule I treated like a parachute. Don't feed 311, 5 nights. Nothing I could prove. Mornings showed moths, car lights bending wrong, the mailman's careful ankles. By day 6, I believed in discipline. Day 7, a new clip in a folder I don't use. Saved. Title: When You Open. 3 seconds of black, then a freeze frame of the inside of my front door at face height, as if the shot were taken with someone's back to the street. In the corner, my eye reflected in the peephole. The iris looked wrong. Not color, geometry. System text over the image: "You're doing better." Now don't answer the knock you can't hear. I copied it to my laptop. Bigger didn't make it truer. It only made it closer. I slept on the couch with the TV muttering about houses people fix by tearing them open. At 311, nothing I could prove. Morning, 1 new second on the inside cam. The chain angled like a weight had tested and disagreed. Outside, the bell button wiped clean in a perfect arc. I made tea because coffee would sharpen the wrong things. Sat by the door listening to the world vote for normal. The porch looked like a porch. My hand looked like a hand until I noticed, on my index finger pad, a faint line of flattened skin. Like I'd pressed hard against a plastic circle smaller than a coin. That was last week. Since then, I've been perfect. I don't check after midnight. I don't open before sunrise. Chain set like a rosary. When the app pings, it means nothing. I sleep a little. This morning, the app made a new sound. Not a ping. A soft bell like a thought finishing. Events had a still image waiting. Inside my house. Angle tall like a camera was set above the door looking down. Timestamp 3:11 a.m. Me in the chair by the door, head tipped like I fell asleep mid-guard. Phone face down on the floor, chain neat, deadbolt vertical. Caption, good. Now do it again. Below it, one more file, 311 rules.ext. I don't have text files in this app. 4 lines appeared like instructions printed on the inside of a lid. 307, don't look. 309, don't stand. 311, don't answer. 312, don't check. At the bottom, half an inch of empty space, like it was saving room for the part I wouldn't like. I'm telling you because you have a door, and maybe a camera you call proof. Maybe your porch light hums. Maybe your street asks for quiet and you give it. Maybe you get a motion alert at a time that sounds like a punchline. If you do, if you see yourself on your porch, if your finger fits the worn arc on the bell, if a voice memo arrives from a face you've been wearing too long, here's what I learned. Do not open the door to prove you're inside. Do not knock back at the thing that borrowed your rhythm. Do not check the clip it leaves to teach you how to watch. Do not feed the minute it chose. There are 2 versions of my house now. The one cameras see, and the one the door believes in. At 3:11, those 2 decide if they want each other. I let them. I sit in the chair and keep the rules. Today the file updated while I was at work. I didn't see it happen. I only see what it says now. 313, good. Keep going. 314, don't speak. 315, don't breathe. It added one more line while I wrote this. I didn't hear the alert. I just looked down and saw it there, neat as a label on a jar. 316, open when ready. It's 310 now. The porch is quiet. The chain is set. My phone is face down and far away. I'm going to sit in this chair and practice being difficult to learn. If it fogs the lens, I won't wipe it. If it whispers through the mic, I won't answer. If the bell chimes, I'll let the sound die alone. If I'm wrong, you'll know. You'll get a clip with your porch empty and your eye reflected in your own peephole, and the system font will tell you you're doing better. Then it will leave space at the bottom for the part it wants next. It's 3:11. I'm not opening the door.